This is a Republic notice on interracial marriage and Malachi 2:11 cutoffs. Malachi 2:11 to 2:15 biblically tells of the Judah men that are cut off and cut out of inheritance. They're disinherited. Okay? But before I get into that, let's talk about interracial marriages. First of all, interracial marriages is a lightweight term. What it should be called is interspecies married, because we assume we are the same species and that we're just different races. Some of us can have, straight hair, slanty eyes, very poor buttocks, short torsos. Some of us can be very hippie. Some of us can be very overweight. Now, I'm just talking about people in general. Some of us have nappy hair. The black woman, American Judaisian woman, have nappy spiral spiritual hair, number 9-6 hair. That's the knot of the higher frequencies. That's high frequency hair. The Malachi cutoff men, which are black men who want everything else except a nappy-headed woman. They move towards any kind of straight-haired woman and try to act like that's their rib. Nappy as their hair is, they all want to produce straight-haired women, act like that's their rib, or they think they are sacred within their own penis, as if they penis birthed them. And that's their fallacy. P-H-A-L-L-U-S-I-E, fallacy. That's their lust. And that's the fall, the P-H-A-L-L, the fall of Judah. It was caused by phallus lust and spilling of the seed to create this interspecies that we call interracial marriage. Now, black women have other than black men also. Okay? Now, prior to me understanding things, I used to believe that any kind of mixing was off limits, or any kind of interracial marriage, interspecies, because scientists say it's a 3% difference between black and white, and that's more than an ape. Okay, now you can take that for whatever way you want to. Okay, but black people are Rh positive, are rhesus positive, and white Caucasian women are Rh negative. In other words, a lot of their babies self-abort when they with another Rh negative person. So this interspecies that we call interracial is just to lightweight it. Now, interspecies mean you may be mating with someone from a different planetary origin, and it may be lightweight to you, but you don't know what you're creating. This is why we have to go back to Genesis 3:15 with the woman's seed. And the Most High knew to hide his sacred seed and protection from demonic elements in the woman. That's why when a black woman, a Judaisian woman, mates, she still has the DNA of that woman's seed in her. And she can protect the seed from demon infiltration. So that's why they work with the men, Judaisian men. They pump up the black men and try to make him think that he looks better in chocolate skin and nappier hair than the black woman. And, he's called fine and everything when he's dark skinned. And you very rarely hear the black woman with nappy hair and dark skin being called fine and pretty and gorgeous. So he's pumped up. Meanwhile, they throw him in jail and shoot him in the hair like you piss. So, but he still believed this pump up. It doesn't matter if 3 million of them is in jail and they shot every day like they just worthless piece of trash. That's how they shoot them, like they worthless piece of trash. But yet the media still pumps them up to be shot. But he pumps them up so he won't have to, the media pumps them up for Babylon women like the Kardashians type of Babylon whore, so he can be seen with stringy heads all around, degrading himself and getting ready to be fit for Satan infiltration by the Dracons. And when he's involved with these women, he's in a Dracon sexual relation. In other words, Dracons is in the brains of him. And his seminal spilling is spilling demon seeds, because if he's not with his spirit mate, as Malachi 2:11 to 2:15 tells you, if he's not with the same spirit, then he's an incomplete man. And an incomplete man is not producing a seed that can attract high frequency or spirituality. Instead, he's producing a seed that is open to demon infiltration. Now, black women are in the Constitution and the Holy Covenant. And black men like to say, well, you sound like you being real hard on the black man, but when it comes to the black woman, you ain't saying all that, and she mixing with this, and she mixing with that, and she mixing with that. Let me tell you something. Judah, Israelites, have had 8 captivities. 8 captivities. That means the black woman been raped for 10,000 years. 10,000 years. And she still produces you, the black man, even after her rape. So all this raping, and okay, in America, let's just keep it real. In Egypt, 430 years she was raped. In America, she was raped 400 years. But she still produces the black man and supreme athletes because she has the woman's seed in her. Other races would have been exterminated by now. She was raped for 300 to 400 years. Not only that, our children from rape needed a nation. They needed an identity. So the Hebrew Israelite woman was their identity. Now she was raped, but she still produces the black man 300 to 400 years later after being raped hundreds and hundreds years by demonic beasts. Okay? Now, she is the primordial womb. After all, black man, you're born from her. And you need to look at Galatians 4:4. When the time was fulfilled, Christ was born, and he was born under the law of the woman. So if you think you're better than Christ, then that's your fallacy. And this is the mark of the beast. Let me tell you about the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is that little head on your phallus. That with that little eye there that you pee out of, because when the earth was flooded, it was flooded in piss. And that little phallus you pee out of, well, the beast, the mark of the beast, have that same hole on the top of their head. And as they fall, as Satan fall in stars, they spew out demon seeds from that hole in the top of their head. It's like an eye. And when they fall in that eye, started spilling out a whole bunch of demon seeds, shooting them, try to shoot Drake Hines and me. Because I'm married, and so I'm under attack. They're attacking me. And that same forehead is the same matching the phallus. When that phallus don't understand its proper worth is only worthy if he's with the right spirit and if he's serving who the Creator has married him to. Because you can't bargain with God. His holy covenant is non-negotiable. Now, the black woman, like I said, she has been raped for thousands of years. Not only that, everyone knows that the black man has been very distant from her ever since integration in America. He admits that. So her job and responsibility is very, very heavy in trying to raise children by herself. I mean, she has one of the heaviest burdens any woman can carry on earth in a modern industrialized country. But the black man's accountability is even cosmically higher than her responsibility. His accountability is so high that he can't be compared with her. And guess what? His rope is very short. His rope is very short because you know what? There's no negotiations with when God made him his first fruits. There's no negotiation with that seed, okay? There's no negotiation whatsoever. See, because the woman already have it in her. The woman already have it in her. That's how she was able to carry that black male. Okay, the seeds was already in her. So when you go to a white, Asian, Hispanic, or any other woman, therefore you're an incomplete man. In order to retrieve the fullness of your man, you have to go back to the one to procreate with his queen or sustain himself. Every beast in the wild knows that he cannot sustain himself by moving into a species unlike himself. So let's talk about interracial marriage being like interracial species. to not Babylon cover it up. And believe me, after I see these dracons falling, I know we are not the species of some of these demons I see. And when you're not with a black woman, you're risking a whole bunch of demonology, producing a whole bunch of demon kids. If Europe was once black, then that means that a whole bunch of demons was produced to enslave black people, and they was produced by majority black men. Now, black women gave birth to the church. And that's why Paul said, women, you need to keep quiet in the church. You done already built a church. Let us least as men raise men. That was his dignity as a man, his manhood. Now, black men need to read Malachi 2:11 to 2:15 and Galatians chapter 4 and 5 of where they supposed to be with their inheritance. Because they jump over the 15th Jerusalem wall into Babylon and make blood contracts with possible demons. And I said possible demons. Make blood contracts with possible demons who then give birth to bond children. So a wealthy man is willing to become a debtor and to put a seed into the abyss to get to see himself in a bond woman. Now, if you want to see yourself with a bond woman any other way, is on the internet, they have a service where you can see yourself by giving pictures of yourself, and they show you what the baby look like. That's better than using your phallus to murder off Judah. You murdering off heirs, because anything come out of the black woman is an heir. She's a Judah woman. Anything, any baby that comes out of the black woman is an heir, whether you like it or not. And she's still in the Holy Covenant because she's the 14th. You're the 15th. You have to jump over the wall into Babylon. And while you jumping over the wall in Babylon, we have people like President Barack Obama coming in. Robert De Niro, Roger Spencer, many Hispanic men, many Irish men, Asian, African, Israelites, Hamites. Lauryn Hill, gave birth to a whole tribe of Marleys, who may not have been constitutional citizens, because we know Bob Marley is Jamaican, so he's probably Benjamin. So this is how you have to see it. You're not equal to a black woman. Your accountability is much higher. You cannot say, well, she did it and I did it. No, you got muscles for a reason. You were supposed to be that Jerusalem wall to protect her. Now, anything comes out of her, you still have to protect. She produced heirs of Ephraim and heirs of Israelites and heirs of Judah. She produced all heirs. She is the heir producer. No other woman is the heir producer. So you want to go with all these women that are not heir producers, then imagine and then compare to a woman who produced heirs. You out of your mind. You're in your fallacy. And your phallus is just the fall of yourself. You want to brag about your phallus, but let me tell you, the complete man is going back towards androgyny. I'm sitting up here and I'm talking to you as a female Christ, and I'm going to tell you I'm an androgynous being. I'm an androgynous being. And when you reach this level of high frequency, then you begin to understand the tragedy of black men jumping over that Jerusalem wall and creating bond children. Because his low frequency produces low freaks, and he takes up women that have black vaginal envy. They're looking for any extraction out of a black vagina. So they're low frequency women he take up with because he's scared of the high frequency of black women. But a lot of men aren't, and they coming into the wall, and once a child is produced, Christ adopts that child because the black woman has the DNA of Christ. She's the primordial womb, the womb that was from the beginning. She's going to be the womb in the end. No other womb would suffice. They're not even facsimiles. As a matter of fact, they're whole different species. You can call it interracial. I call it interspecies. And that's why Sarah said, with Isaac, she will not tolerate any other heirs than the heirs from her womb. And that's what black American produced. The heirs from Sarah's womb. Okay? The heirs from Sarah, and God has set them heirs, whatever comes out of that womb. The womb is the royal, not the phallus. And that's what you better remember. That's what you better remember. So you gave up your covenant status because you breach your own 14th or bridge your own 15th, jump out of the wall, and you have all your Babylon whores and lust. And the mark of the beast is your head, your phallus head, because the beast, the Dracon, went in the middle of your head, and he hasn't Dracon sex with you because you're far away from the woman's seed, and your frequency is low, and your ego is putting you into a slave condition of satanic control.